Netflix's newest film tells the story of a weekend getaway that goes wrong when a young woman is accused of killing her best friend. I watched The Weekend Away. Should you? Let's find out. How's it going, movie watchers? Thank you guys for stopping by my channel. Today we're talking about The Weekend Away, which stars Leighton Meester as a young woman who goes on a weekend getaway with her best friend, and it just goes wrong. And she is accused of killing her friend after she suspects that she is missing, and it's just really spirals out of control for her as she is trying to piece together information as what had happened to her best friend so she can clear her name and head back home. You ever watch a film that you look at and think that it's not the best film ever made, but it's not the worst film ever made either, and you're just gonna forget about it down the road? That's The Weekend Away. It wasn't the best thing ever. It wasn't the worst thing ever. It's just there. There's really nothing memorable about the film. There's nothing terrible about the film either. It's just a film that you're going to watch and you're not moved by the characters. You're not invested truly in the story. It's just going along and you're just watching the film. That's exactly how I felt about The Weekend Away. It's going to be a film where, like, a month from now, I check my letterbox and I forgot that I watched The Weekend Away. It's not like Leighton Meester gives a terrible performance in here. I think she does a fine job trying to piece together information, caring about her best friend, also making sure that her name is clear by the end of this film. But the movie is so dull to the point where you really aren't invested in who is the person behind everything, because we know that it's not her. The police kind of suspect that it may be her for some previous relationship issues, but we just know that it's not going to be her. It's not going to be that kind of film. As she starts to gather information about who killed her best friend, you're not really invested in the side characters of this film, as there's really no development for them. There's really no personality to some of these characters, and you kind of have an idea to where a couple of these characters could be involved, and when there are certain reveals, because there is a few different ones in here, you just don't really feel that impact. And by the end of it, it feels like it's trying to wrap up the storyline multiple times, and you feel like you have your solid ending to the film, and then it adds a new layer to it, and it really just feels a little bit unnecessary at times. So the characters within here, especially the two friends, which I really didn't feel like they were friends in the first place, it's just a film that's hard to get through when you're not invested in the characters, the scenario, and her trying to clear her name, and her trying to find who killed her best friend. It's really dull, and it moves kind of at a slow pace too. A little bit of the scenes feel a little bit repetitive as we are gathering the information. This person is now a suspect, but then this person's also a suspect. It kind of feels like the same thing is happening over and over again. And I didn't find the reveals to be impactful. I didn't find the moments where they are trying to add some suspense or some kind of mystery to it at the end of the film. I just felt like it was very weak. When I thought the film was over, I checked the time. There was still 17 minutes left of the film. And I had realized at that point that they're going to kind of switch things up again on us and give us something new. And at that point, it felt like it was just adding on something that had already been completed previously in the film. And they are revisiting it again, and it just did not work. So The Weekend Away is a film that's very forgettable. It's highly predictable. The characters move at such a sluggish pace. They're not very interesting either. Leighton Meester gives a decent performance in here, but the script for the character isn't requiring much from her. There's not a lot of room for her to develop as a character. There's not a lot of room for emotional moments for the character because you just don't feel that relationship between her and her friend to the point where it's personal for her to figure out who killed her friend because they are the best of friends. It's just more so of her trying to clear her name so she can go home. And so by not creating that solid relationship in the beginning, you're not invested in the relationship and the story as well. So The Weekend Away, it's not the worst thing I've ever seen. It's not the best thing either, but it's just right there to the point where you're going to forget about it down the road and really not care about it either. And as I was watching the film, I really didn't care much about it either. So before I give you my score for The Weekend Away, make sure to check out my channel. Here I do movie reviews, trailer reactions, ranking videos, tier lists, all that fun movie related content that you see on YouTube. I do it all here, so hit that subscribe button to get it all in one spot. If you would like to see where The Weekend Away ranks amongst all of the other 2022 releases I have seen this year, make sure to follow me on Letterboxd, and there you can find my ranking list. I'm gonna go ahead and give The Weekend Away a C. Thank you guys for checking my review for The Weekend Away on Netflix. Have you guys seen it by any chance? What did you think about it? Let me know in the comment section down below and stay tuned for more up and coming content like this. My name is Just Watches Movies, and you guys stay classy, YouTube.